made this gravitational lens effect in Unity's shader graph. And I could show you the shader for how I did that, but, well, it's kind of a mess. Instead of that, I'm going to show you how I made virtually the same effect, but for a different project. This effect should work for both HDRP and URP, but there are a few differences. If you're using URP, there's an extra setting that you need to check on your render pipeline settings. I believe it's called depth right. You have to check that on for this to work. I thought you had to do this as well for HDRP, but looking back on it, apparently you don't. The first thing I did here was create an HD scene color node with exposure checked on. For URP, it's just regular scene color, but for HDRP, I learned the hard way that you're better off using HD scene color. Then I changed the surface type from opaque to transparent, and this is super important that you do that, and I'm going to be using this later as well. After creating a material and putting it on a sphere, it should look like there's nothing there. Here I add a spherize node and connect the out to the UV of the HD scene color. I then added a screen position node and took the out of that and put that into the UV of the spherize node. And the effect is starting to get there. It is obviously not perfect yet though, because it's only on the edges of the screen. So from here I made two vector2 properties, one called center and one called strength, and then I put them into the respective names of the spherize. We're going to edit the center with a script, which is a little annoying, but I found that it is the easiest way for me to do it rather than figure out how to do it in the shader graph. I'm putting this script on the main camera of my scene, and what it's going to do is it's going to get the mesh renderer of the gravitational lens and set that center value to wherever it is at the camera's viewpoint. Now, that probably sounded really confusing, so I have a visual here that sort of demonstrates what the values would be at different points on the screen. The reason I'm using a script for this and not just a screen position node is that I only want the screen position of the very center. Otherwise, the effect doesn't work how I want it to. You have to set the strength to be very high in order for this to be a noticeable effect. And this looks kind of stretched horizontally right now because I did not make this a 16:9 ratio, which I probably should have done in hindsight. I'm quickly making a sphere here with inverted normals. This step is optional though. Now, there's a problem here in that the black hole material is being spherized as well, creating this kind of ring, which we don't want for the final effect. So I make a new material here and I set that material to transparent. This is actually very useful as any material that's transparent will not be distorted because it's not actually writing to the scene color. Now, that's about the end, but I do have a big announcement to make. This game, Kelvin, will be releasing on Monday, July 18th. So if you are interested, there is a link in the description for the Steam page. If you want to wishlist it, go ahead. There will also be a link to some merch in the description as well if you're interested. Anyway, thanks for watching.